The appeal court judgment today questioned the Federal High Court order that wanted to seize the River State statutory allocation is victory for democracy and principles of federalism and constitutional governance, and an end, and a serious end to the desperate quest by one man to discredit the institution of our judiciary in his quest to seize the public resources of a state. And the opposition lawmakers, commenced the appeal court for redeeming the image of the judiciary and saving it from the desperation of one man who wants to seize the sovereign wealth of the people. Jurisdiction was not there in the first place. So there was even no subject matter to be considered. How can you imagine seizing a statutory revenue of a federating unit using the court like an invitation to constitutional and judicial anarchy? Jurisdiction was not there in the first place, like appeal court have upheld. Jurisdiction is integral, and they know. Supreme Court has held as far back as, in many cases, especially in the case of CBN versus Rahmania Global Resources, that the mere attachment of a federal institution does not confer jurisdiction. You have to look at the subject matter. So because the Pro-Wike group was desperate to throw rivers into anarchy and wanted to cripple the economy of the state, and then they find a federal high court available for that, then they went and attached CBN and federal government, so therefore federal high court has jurisdiction. This was purely an internal affairs of a state, because we are talking about Appropriation Act. That is law made by the State Assembly. There was nothing that involves CBN interpretation or federal government involvement in it. There's a difference between federal allocation that is moved from the consolidation revenue fund to that of the state. It's a symbol of federating unit. Then when the money gets to the state, when the fund is disbursed from the federation to the federating unit, which is the state, then you talk about appropriation to make budget. And that falls under the powers of the State Assembly. And the State High Court has jurisdiction. But they went to Federal High Court to obtain a judgment. Okay, the cruise of the matter is problem between them and the governor. Is it problem between them and the state? So if a governor is defaulting, and I want Nigerians to pay attention to this, the Constitution has made a elaborate provision to take care of that. There is a State House of Assembly that can impeach. Now, what is the business of the Federal High Court? In trying to seize to stop the disbursement of funds from the Federation account to the federating unit. Because the federating unit does not have a budget, which is an internal affairs in the state, which is supposed to be the State High Court. People just want us to change our constitutional laws and democracy because of one man quest to seize what does not belong to him. Who are you to take us through this kind of journey? Who are you? Is this how America, Texas and New York and Ghana is developing? If the reason why they are doing this is that the State House of Assembly have a legitimate issue because of the illegal cross-carpeting from PDP to APC. They know that. And that have been paid and they can't function because their seats have been declared vacant. Instead of subjecting themselves to a by-election. So that if you have a properly constituted House of Assembly that has all the members, then you talk about impeachment. As it stands today, going by the judgment of the Supreme Court, the foreman that House of Assembly is recognized by law. Because until, like the Supreme Court have said in the case of Dapialong and Dere, until by-election is held to fill those vacant seats.
Rivers State is shaking. A lawyer just dropped a bombshell, Wike on the run, Fubara on top. Ladies and gentlemen, grab your attention, a lawyer has just dropped a bombshell, Wike on the run, Fubara on top. Rivers State is shaking. Is the former governor fleeing? As the new governor actually consolidated power? And what exactly was exposed? In the next 30 minutes, we peel back the smoke, separate fact from sensationalism, and bring you the real story behind the headlines. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe now, hit that bell so you don't miss our updates, and tell me below in the comments, do you think this claim is true or hype? Let's dive in. Nyesom Wike is a heavyweight in Nigerian politics. He served as governor of Rivers State from 2015 to 2023 and now serves as the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. His protege, Siminalayi Fubara, won the 2023 Rivers gubernatorial election to succeed him. But instead of a smooth handover, their relationship has spiraled into a serious political feud. Tensions over influence, control, budget, and appointments escalated, culminating in legislative standoffs, court battles, and even intervention from the federal government. The headline, Wike on the run, Fubara on top, a lawyer exposes Wike, is provocative. But as with many political sayings, there is exaggeration and nuance underneath. Let me show you. The backstory, from partners to rivals. What started as mentor and successor has deteriorated into open conflict. Wike remained a dominant force in Rivers politics even after leaving the governor's office. But Fubara tried to assert independence. That tension played out in the state legislature, which was largely pro-Wike, in budget fights, in legal challenges, and in media narratives. Numerous news sources traced a timeline of clashes, delayed budgets, impeachment attempts, conflicting court orders, and public accusations. At some point, it got so bad that the president, citing danger to governance and oil infrastructure, declared a state of emergency in Rivers, suspended Fubara, and installed a caretaker administrator. So that's where we were, a state in deep political crisis, and national attention turned to Rivers. The lawyer exposes Wike, a drama, what was really said. Now, the latest twist, a lawyer apparently made public statements about Wike's political and legal vulnerabilities, and commentators translated that into Wike exposed, or Wike on the run. Some versions claim Wike is scrambling, others that Fubara has decisively taken over. I watched a clip titled, Rivers, Lawyer Says Fubara Won't Face Problems Upon, in which the lawyer suggests Fubara's position is strong and he expects no legal impediment going forward. That kind of statement is legal commentary. It is not proof of wrongdoing or that Wike is fleeing. At the same time, the claim that a video shows Fubara prostrating or begging Wike has been fact-checked and declared false. So sensational visuals floating around are not reliable. Always check fact-check sites and credible news outlets. So, the expose is about legal exposure, influence, and who has momentum, not a confirmed criminal conviction or a literal flight. The journalist in me says, treat expose headlines as flags to dig, not proof in themselves. The reconciliation plot twist. Here's where it gets more intriguing. Recent reports say Wike and Fubara are now engaging in peace talks. The Guardian reports that the feud may be nearing resolution via mediation by senior statesmen like former Ogun Governor Olusegun Osoba and incumbent Depo Abaede. The Guardian Nigeria. They met at Wike's Abuja home, symbolic as much as strategic. Osoba dismissed stories that Fubara had prostrated or begged. He said the gesture was misinterpreted. In their culture, respect is shown differently, and seating him at Wike's house is not evidence of subservience. The Guardian Nigeria. So, after climbing into sharp conflict, they might now be stepping back toward peace. That's a dramatic move. It raises questions. Is it genuine? Who gives up what? Will Wike still retain influence? Will Fubara feel he lost face? This is real political theater. If you agree, drop a comment, peace or show. Why this matters, high stakes in Rivers. Rivers State isn't just political theater, it's strategic. Rivers is oil-rich, with pipelines, infrastructure, and revenue flows crucial to Nigeria's economy. News from Financial Times links pipeline explosions in the Niger Delta to the Rivers crisis and views the political instability there as having national implications. Financial Times. Every turn in this saga can affect investor confidence, federal allocations, security of oil installations, and the lives of ordinary people in the state. If the political tug-of-war breaks down, governance stalls. If reconciliation holds, there's hope for progress. Where we stand now, who has the upper hand? Let me synthesize what seems most credible at this moment. The legal commentary by the lawyer is real and reflects that Fubara's legal standing is viewed by some as strong. But that is opinion, not court judgment. The viral videos claiming dramatic prostrations or begging have been debunked. The peace talks mediated by respected figures seem genuine, given multiple credible sources. The Guardian, Nigeria. Wike is not literally running, he's making moves still, but in a more restrained way. Fubara is currently in a position of momentum, though political storms may return. What to look out for? Formal court filings or leaked documents implicating any party. Public statements from Wike or Fubara that clarify claims. Follow-up meetings, press conferences, reconciliation declarations. Reactions in Rivers State, from local leaders, civil society, oil businesses. Possible federal involvement again. Your engagement, viewers. While we are walking this tightrope together. Hit like if you're enjoying the clarity. Subscribe if you want more deep dives. In the comments, tell me, which side do you believe has more control now, Wike or Fubara? Also comment, will this peace last or break again? I'll read your thoughts in the next video. So, is Wike on the run? No credible evidence supports a literal interpretation. Is Fubara on top? He currently holds political momentum, though it's contested and dynamic. The lawyer's expose is part of the narrative battle, not final judgment. Meanwhile, reconciliation efforts offer a glimpse of hope that this titanic fight may cool.